Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare. Um, I have one more video to make with spiritual concepts, the divine wisdom, but God has guided me to postpone that. And first, before anything else, to do right now, early in the morning, um, a video on two issues that I just discovered in my spiritual fighting, actually throughout this night and morning. And I will mention one thing as I am getting ready to go on my new beginning. As I closed up the karmic cycles and so on, God is guiding me that now I'm starting my new beginning. So the judgment, divine judgment, is closed up, so I can pursue and go on my new beginning. But before you do that, and I'm saying this for all those who are in similar situations, before you do that, it takes some time. Why? You still need to go through tests, and the purpose of those tests basically is for you to understand specific attacks which were attached to the bondage, or basically were used to create the bondage which you just broke in your spiritual fighting. So before you move on, you need to understand how to defend yourself against those attacks. Why? Because the individuals who are have been involved in that bondage and are under judgment and punishment will continue to send those attacks to you. And it's important for you to understand how to fight against those, because you don't want them to trick you, to affect your awareness, your energy awareness, your power, your mind power, your whatever you're doing in your new beginning. So you don't want that to affect, because if they do affect, you run the risk of them recreating a bondage on you, right? So this is what I've been doing for the last 4 months. I've been going through tests and learning about specific type of attacks in order for them not to be able to recreate that. Basically, what the latest spiritual work I've done throughout this night and this morning was to discover how death spells and beauty and glamour spells work on an individual, how actually they come about, because it was always weird to me. They done this so often, I cannot explain, for years, daily, on daily basis, and not just one individual but many individuals doing the same thing at me. And I was like, I don't understand, how come I'm with you, Father God, and they still have the power to create this on me, because energetically it's extremely damaging. Going through a death attack, it affects you. Clearly you heal it, but still it affects your energy, and it just drains you. So because I don't know how much memory I have on the phone, I'm gonna just dive into it. So the death spells, how they work, um, basically, death attack, it's a gradual process of building up. Okay. And it begins at your nervous, attacking your nervous system on cerebral level. That's at the back of your head, lower back of your head, right? So it begins there by a demonic attachment there. So it's very important to preserve your energetic integrity. If you get angry, or if they get to trigger you in any kind of emotional way, they can attach to your nervous system different type of entities. And the death attack starts by attaching one of these entities to your nervous system. And from there, basically, a cord, that entity creates a cord reaching out to your throat chakra, to your throat basically, and to your sinus, so your third eye and ajna chakra, right? So that is on the middle of your forehead, and basically at the basis of your nose, right? That's the ajna chakra. So strings are created by darkness this way. And basically, at a certain time, they all work together in order to activate muscles of your throat and of your sinus, in order, basically, it's what happens. It creates like a contraction, like your hand going into a fist. So all the muscles close up on your throat and sinus, and you cannot breathe. Essentially, basically, this is what happens. The simple explanation is that you cannot breathe, so you get to suffocate, right? And they do that by projecting certain type of levitation through hovering spirits. Hovering spirits are those spirits which are sort of attached to you, and they stay attached to you 24 hours a day, bombarding you with a certain image, with a certain information through levitation, through hologram, So if for example, simultaneously you have a levitation that acts on your ears, on your tympan, uh, to your middle ear. So it's very, very powerful. And then if simultaneously you have a hologram on your third eye of you suffocating, and you have all this darkness, basically it creates a reflex. It's like you give order to someone, stop breathing. They literally have an effect on your muscles, and they can create that. It's a temporary thing, but if that temporary lasts long enough, you can die. There are people who died of this, you know. So it's a demonic. Essentially, it's a demonic attack, but it is a little bit more complicated. It is important for you to know how it works in order to fight it back. You clearly need to pray in that moment, and Jesus and God will come help you. But this is important to understand how it works, because as I said previously, in spiritual fighting, whenever you know what is being done and who is doing it, it already diminishes the power. Just in that second, saying I claim justice from God instantly will give you a release. Okay, if you know exactly what is being done. So this is a mental sort of attack, but it is done by darkness and by entity attachment. And attachment can mean a spirit, can mean a demon, can mean many type of so this is how it works, the death attack. Okay, this is important, and God insistently wanted me to leave aside everything else. And he said, because I discovered this now, because I'm going on my new beginning. And when I left on my spiritual journey, there were death attacks on me, and like a few times a day. I lost one of my dogs like this. She died because of one of these attacks, and at the time I didn't know how to work with this. Okay, so I'm discovering now the details of it. I discovered many others in between. Like, for example, I said that when it's witchcraft done for death on you, you need to change your appearance, because the witchcraft is being done on your image. It's done with graveyard magic. So they basically bury your photos. They take a photo of you, like my neighbors take photos of me in my own court. That is even illegal to do that. I even uh, said that to the police. This is not acceptable. But they take pictures of me and they put it on their altars, bury them in graveyards, and so on. So if this happens, then you have to, like, when I was on my spiritual journey, God, for example, asked me once. I was in Bulgaria, and he said, just go cut your hair. And I was like, I'm on a spiritual journey. I don't know where to cut my hair. I don't even speak the language here. I have the dog with me. And God said, this is the most important. So with the last money I had to go to a hairdresser, hairstylist, and cut my hair. And that instantly released that witchcraft with death. So changing your appearance instantly, especially hair and nails. This, if you cut this, you will feel how this type of work done on you, basically, it is released. So anyhow, this is all I have to say about death attacks so far. But then let's move on to the next concept on which I work, which are the beauty spells, the glamour spells, and the uh, identity stealing. Because what they do, they steal identity in many ways, but one of the things is they do this mirror magic. And in order to sort of uh, it's basically a hypnosis. But what they achieve with that is that people see your face over their face. It is uh, unbelievable. You look at them, they copy your hairstyle, they copy your hair color, your everything in terms of appearance, but they literally project upon them your image. And when people see them, look at them, literally they connect mentally, on subconscious level, with your image. And I was always puzzled how the hell this is happening. And now I can give you one explanation further from what I discovered before. So it is a projection on your um, nervous system as well, on cerebral, and from that level on your third eye projection as a hologram, but it's internal projection, right? Just like with the death spells. That's why God showed this to me at the same time. So it comes at your third eye, from your cerebral, not from outside. It's not an outside projection. So it's basically both our mind attacks, mind level attacks. They use your mind power to attack you, essentially. This is what is happening with both of them. But they use dark magic and sorcery in order to create that attack, to force to still hijack your mind power and project with your mind power on yourself. Okay, so again, it's a projection hologram, internal, from your cerebral to your third eye, not from outside. It's forcing you to see yourself in the way they want you to see yourself. And usually, basically, it's a very bad way. And this has an effect on your self-esteem, on causing depression in some cases, and the most important, actually, I think the most important thing they achieve with this is that they bend your will. And this is a gradual process. If your willpower starts to be affected on one matter, then it's a gradual process of taking your willpower um, down completely. Okay, so this is important, especially when you talk about how you see yourself, because this can start with the physical image, but then it can start with what you believe you're able to achieve. It can start with giving up addictions, because if they control your willpower, no, you will never give up any kind of addictions. You will never be able to pursue any kind of goals. Do you see what I mean? You literally won't have the willpower, the desire, and the belief in yourself to do things. So they can do anything with you if they achieve that. Um, Going back to the beauty spells and mirror magic, and so this is basically the essence, the nutshell of it. This literally gives spiritual legitimacy to them to further send spirits. So if you embrace that belief about yourself, they have in astral, according to true astral rules, entities have the right to attack you, because entities feed on low self-esteem and low vibration. So if you have a low vibration, if you accept it and they get to infiltrate your energy field with low vibrations, then more entities will be sent to you. And that also comprises hovering spirits, which do levitation on you, and so on. So basically, this is the mirror magic. What they do, they use the mirror only to focus in that mirror. This is a little bit delusional and crazy, people, but this is how they do it. They stare in the mirror, just like Cinderella sort of story, mirror on the wall, who's the prettiest in the world. And while they look in the mirror, they don't look at themselves, but they do a projection by mind power, and they imagine they see your picture in that mirror. So this is crazy lunatic stuff, but I'm telling you, this is how they work. So they look at the mirror, but they don't look at the mirror in order to see themselves, but in order to see your face as being their face. If you understand what I say, this is really, I've seen this was shown to me, this part was shown to me by God in 2018, So since then, I was like, initially I was in disbelief. I said, no, this is crazy. This cannot be true. There cannot be people doing this. But it is. I learned it is. So this is the mirror magic. What they do, basically, they stare in that mirror and they think of this. And this is connected again with the attack they carry out on you, which I just described a little bit earlier, projection on you. And it's a pattern used working with the two images. Do you see? So it's your image and their image. And they essentially force themselves to believe that your image is their own image. Crazy bastards. So they switch your image with their image, thinking that your image is their image. Now, for this is very important for both this, especially this crazy lunatic mirror magic and beauty magic and glamour magic and all of this crazy stuff done on your beauty. Essentially, is something projected upon you. So both of this you can actually nullify by saying, instead of saying I send it back to sender, you will say I reverse what is being sent on me. I reverse what is being created on me. And you have to make the distinction, because sometimes, as I said, they use your own energy and your own power, energetic power or mind power or so on, to create beliefs, fake beliefs on you. But this is the nutshell dark work behind it. This is how it works with demons, with entities, and so on. But essentially what they achieve, the end result, is that they create upon yourself an image with your own energy, because they don't really have an energy to do this. They don't have that power. But reversing that, basically you switch back to the proper correct divine way how things are. But sending back to sender doesn't help you in this matter. This is what I want to point out, actually. Sending back to sender, it doesn't really help you, because this is not something sent to you but created upon you, if you know what I mean. So you must understand that reversal changes this outcome and dark work on you.